have to start by first and foremost acknowledging the work that was done yesterday during the presentations. I think it was wonderful. The whole group that presented, I must be honest with you, it was on point. So I think we should go ahead and put our hands together for ourselves. And I also would like to apologize on behalf of those that prepared for so long and prepared, but they were not able to do a presentation. I truly want to apologize for that. It wasn't our making, the time was too short. Please do accept our apologies. And for those that didn't present, can we put our hands together for them also? Okay, I believe you are sitting according to your commissions, eh? Alright, it's fine, but you were supposed to sit according to your commission. That is fine. Alright, we are going to move forward. I also want to inform you that we will round up today. Please, those upstairs, am I audible enough? Yes. Okay. Those at the back? Okay. Alright, I also want to inform you that we will round up today not early as we thought. We had thought that we would go before break or during one's break, but we will finish at the exact time, 1 p.m. But we will finish at 1 p.m. On Monday, we are going to give you a day off. On Monday, you won't be in class on Monday. Your classes resumes Tuesday. It's been a compacted 5 days, good for you and also for us as an organization. We want to give you a short break on Monday so that if there are things you need to fix, you go and fix them on Monday. Is it okay? And then also for us to make sure that everything that you require in your class is completely available. So that once you come to class on Monday, we just flow. Is it okay? All right, thank you so much. Thank you. No, we resume on Tuesday morning, all the classes, but I'm going to explain how it's going to go as we move along. All right, if you remember carefully, we started from, I just want to, please, I need you to look up there. I need you to look up here. When we started with papers. And the presentations that you did yesterday was on point. It was talking about what we spoke about. And then we said that there are two types of papers. We've got universal papers and we have individual papers. And we also define papers. We say that papers is the reason why something exists. There is a reason why I've taken you back here. Because what we are going to move into now will be another dimension. And before that dimension, I need to take you along as we move into the next dimension of the classes now. Papers is the reason why something exists. We said in absence of papers, abuse is inevitable. Happiness in life is made possible through a life of papers. We have two kinds of papers or two types of papers. We have universal purpose and we have individual purpose. And we say that the universal purpose of everything created, everything born on planet Earth, is to make a contribution. It could be a contribution in the lives of people. It could also be a contribution in the life of things. It could also be a contribution in the lives of animals. But the primary reason of everything that is born or created on planet Earth is to make a contribution. If it is not contributive, it is not a purpose. If it is not contributive, it's not a purpose. Purpose exists because there is a need. When there is no need, there is no need for purpose. Purpose exists to meet a need. The video he's shooting is meeting a need. The projector is meeting a need. The chairs we are sitting on is meeting a need. And the need they are meeting is the reason why they were made. So their relevance is because of their purpose. If the video camera is no longer able to shoot us and to cover the program, it becomes irrelevant. It becomes completely irrelevant to the owner and to us, to the creator and to itself, and to the people that are supposed to benefit from the purpose of that object. So, we say the universal purpose of everything is to make a contribution. Never forget that. If it is not contributive, it is never a purpose. There are two kinds of purpose: universal purpose and individual purpose. We say your individual purpose is what you use to accomplish universal purpose. Because for you to make a contribution, you must have something to contribute with. And because of that contribution, our individual purpose needs to be established. What is it that Alex is supposed to do? How do I contribute to my world? Because of it, gifts and talents were given. And we went further to explain the concept of gifts and talents. We said it's the natural abilities that every one of us were born with. And I also believe that some of us, when we went home, you took time to do some research. And I believe that the research that you did concurred with what we are busy talking about since we started in this class. Gifts and talents are natural abilities that we are born with. Because we are required to make a contribution, we never asked to make a contribution. We are required to make a contribution. Gifts and talents were given to us to contribute with. We went further to explain how to know the areas of your giftings and your talents. We spoke about passion. We spoke about the names that people call you positively. We spoke about thoughts direction. We spoke about the things that makes you cry. We spoke about uniqueness. That these are pointers. The pointers does not mean that these things are your abilities. But we say that if your life experience or feelings goes in this direction, it can be that your giftings and your talent is in that direction. Example, passion. We spoke in depth concerning passion. The things that makes you cry, we spoke in depth concerning them. And every pointer that we give to you is based on facts. We even went forward to use biblical principles as a good material. A material that has been tested beyond existence of time. We based our ideologies on the basis of the scriptures. So we took them from the scriptures. Meaning that there is no time when it will come to a point where we will say that these ideologies are no longer relevant. They are not theological. They are not philosophical, they are scriptural based. And we gave you examples from the Bible in some of the things that we explained to you. Time did not permit us to go in depth But as long as time permitted us, we were able to do the best that we can do to give you the truth and nothing but the truth. And then, today what we are going to be looking at is this. After you have discovered the areas of your giftings and talent, and then what? Giftings and talents are actually a product that you use to develop your career path, your career. And one's career is basically their callings in life, as I'm going to take you now to callings. Now, because of giftings and talents, callings need to come in place. For an example, we've heard so many people say so many things. People like nurses, they say nursing is a calling. If you are not called to be a nurse, you cannot do it. Some people say, being a social worker is a calling. Being a doctor is a calling. Being a pastor is a calling. And whenever they mention calling, it is always related to a career path. Every time calling is mentioned, it's always based on somebody's life work. The work that you are doing, which is your career. Okay, so career are products of calling, as I'm going to explain now as we go further. So, in other words, are we saying that some people are the only ones that are called and then others are not called? For an example, if I am a pastor and then the pastor says, I am called to do this. Pastor is a calling. So someone who is not a pastor is not called. Someone who is a domestic worker is not called. So everyone is called. Everyone that God created is called. But the responsibility is in us to find out, what is my calling? It is not a mystery. It is not hidden. We basically apply what is called self-discovery to understand the content that is in us. Like we explained, that the content of a product will tell you what this product can do for you. If I buy an airtime of 5 rand, I will not expect that airtime to exceed 5 rand. Once you make a call and it reaches to 5 rand, the airtime finishes. If I buy a Coca-Cola, look at the content of the Coca-Cola. I can see there is sugar in it. I can see there is water in it. In other words, I can then say, Coca-Cola can quench a thirst. Then what is the work of Coca-Cola? Is it also because it has sugar, it can produce energy? Meaning, the purpose of Coca-Cola could be to quench a thirst and to produce energy. How do I know? By looking at the content of Coca-Cola. By looking at the content of Coca-Cola. So if I want to know what my life purpose is, what should I do? I look inside in the content of Alex. Is it difficult? No. Is it a mystery? No. But why is it difficult for so many people to discover what they are born to do and how they are supposed to be doing it? Because many people have not been taught the concept of self-discovery. Those that have discovered it are living a fabulous life. Those that have not yet known why they are born and what they exist to do will keep searching and searching. Some stumbled upon it. Some stumbled upon it. Some were being discovered by others. But the best practice is that Alex must discover himself. Because when I'm discovered by people, I may not maximize the full potential of who I am because it was given to me. When I get it by myself, I can maximize it because I know the root and the end of it. So we go now to calling. All right. We've laid the foundation. Please, before we start, I want us to look at different pictures that I have put here. Everything you see there is a calling. It says different types of calling and how they help us. I want you to tell me the first picture. We see the lady with 2 kids. What do you think that lady is? She's a? What kind of a teacher? Huh? Huh? Remember, just pay attention. There is a reason why I'm asking you that. Remember, to discover a calling, you go beyond the profession. There is what is called a career field. In a career field, you have careers. If I say to you, I am a doctor, the question you're going to ask me, what doctor? Because there are many doctors. If I say to you, I am a teacher, you're going to ask me, oh, okay, but what do you teach? I could be a music teacher. I could be a Sunday school teacher. I can be a math teacher. I can be a crèche teacher. So it's important to give attention to details when it comes to discovering the callings in life. I'm going to take you back. Let's finish this one. The second one, what is happening there? What do you think is talking to each other here? How or how? Picture. Okay. Who is helping each other here? This one. This one. Why do you say so? Okay. What do you think she's doing? She's giving advice. She's giving advice. She's counseling, isn't it? All right. And then the third one is what? It's a mechanic. The fourth one, the fifth one, the sixth one. What kind of teacher? The sixth one. Okay, the sixth ones are police officers. I see it's not clear. The seventh one, sorry, the eighth one. The eighth one is the priest. Okay? Okay. And the first one that side? A diver. How does a diver help us? Discover the nation. Okay. And the second one is? No, it's not a painter. That's an archaeologist. Archaeologists, the people that discover the rock and what. And the third one? The scientist. Good. The fourth one? Music. The fifth one? The sixth one? The seventh one? Firefighters. The eighth one? Huh? The ninth one? Pilot. The 10th one? And the 11th one? The 11th one? Domestic worker. Excellent. All right, you start well. Now let's go back. Calling. Understanding calling in establishment of life mission. It says, calling is defined as the entire or principal work or activity of a person's lifetime or career. Calling is defined as the entire or the main work or activity of a person's lifetime or career. To everyone born on the face of the earth, there is a work he or she must do. There is a reason why calling is attached to a career. For the rest of your life, you will be working. The reason why you are here is because of career. The reason why we go to school is to develop a career. The work of life is career. Every person requires a work to do. I need you to pay attention, because I'm going to get you to develop a life mission plan. If you didn't get what I said, you're going to struggle with it. Everybody requires a career. For the rest of your life, you will be working. But it's important. The reason why we are busy teaching this is because we felt that one of the most part of a person's life is his job. You look at people's health, you look at their relationship, you look at their jobs. These are the fundamental, most important aspects of their lifetime. You look at people's health, you look at their relationship, you look at their work. Your health enables you to function, to work. Your work enables you to serve and to fulfill a life purpose and make a living through that life purpose. Your relationship fulfills the purpose of regeneration. Relationship fulfills the purpose of regeneration. To be able to multiply, to create and to multiply. So, for the rest of your life, our lives, we will be working. So it will be not right for our purpose in life to be different from our work life. Why? There is nothing else that matters. Your contact with people is either based on relationship or based on work. Your health is personal to you, but your relationship and your work, as a matter of fact, your highest area of contact with people is your work. Where you meet most people is your work, irrespective of what work it is. That's where you meet many people. So, the idea is that your work life must embody the purpose why you were created. Because 90% of your existence will be spent working. When you make a mistake on choosing a career, probably that is not what you are supposed to do. You may not really be happy in life. But that's not what we are going to talk about today. We're going to look on the positive side of life. Now, we said calling, as some people think, is not for some people, but everyone has a place and a unique role to play on earth. Finding out what your role is like answering the question, what am I here for? We are here to make a contribution. That is our universal purpose. But to accomplish this purpose, we must find out the role we must play, which is our calling. Let's move to the next phase. How one can establish their calling? Okay, I want to explain something. Maybe to leave the board, just to talk to you, talk to us. The idea is that after you have discovered your giftings and your talents, they should be converted into a career path for you. Because your giftings and your talent makes you happy. Your giftings and your talent is something that motivates you. It's something that has a passion. It's something that drives you. If you develop a career path in the line of your giftings and your talent, you excel. And while you are excelling, you are enjoying yourself. And while you are enjoying yourself, you are making a difference in your world. Your giftings and your talent are your best bet. That's your best bet. So the idea is that young people should discover their areas of giftings and their talent and develop career paths. And that's what the teachers are doing in our grade 10s when they make you to do an aptitude test. What is an aptitude? An aptitude simply means your areas of higher concentration, where your strength is. That's what aptitude means. Your highest person, the highest area of your strength is your aptitude. So they make us to take an aptitude test, and then they give us guidance on the basis of what we have seen. We've seen that you are more socially inclined, you are more this. Why don't you take a course as a doctor? Why don't you take a course as an engineer? Why don't you take a course maybe as a chef? Why? Because they've seen the characteristics of your abilities. So, when we talk about calling, calling simply means your life work. Your life work. What work you are born to do, the work that you do, you are created to do on the basis of the abilities that is in you. Those gifts and talents must be packaged as a product. You need a product. To make a contribution, you must have something to give. And what is that thing that you have to give? Your career. Those gifts and talents, we sum them up together and then we convert them into a career path, and then we can make a difference in our world with that career, using that career path. But now, how does that work? Now, this is how it works. First, we say how one can establish their calling. We use below formula to know our calling. Look at the formula. The formula is gifts and talent plus gifts and talent. Don't miss this. Gifts and talent plus personality plus personal value system equals the character. I will explain again. Gift and talent plus your personality plus your value system equals the career. What is gift and talent? The abilities that you are born with. What is your personality? The kind of a person that you are genetically. What is your value system? The things that you consider to be right, the principles that you live by. You take your abilities, you add it together to the kind of person you are, you add it together with the value system, the principles of life that you live by, you find the career path find a calling. Simple. Let's work on it. It says our calling is our life works, our career. Let's move further. Explaining the formula. Explaining the formula further. First, we have to answer below self-awareness question. Let's go back. We will come back to it. What is or what are the gifts and talents that I know that I have? We are answering the question now. Under gift and talent, we are looking at it. We are asking ourselves, all right, what kind of gifts and talents does Alex have? What gifts and talent have I discovered that I have? Maybe, let's say, I have discovered maybe that every time when I sing, people turn around, who is singing? I might be singing somewhere, everyone turns, who is that person singing? Who is singing? The melody from my voice always arrests the attention of the audience. The melody of my voice always arrests the attention of the audience. One of the characteristics of gift and talent, it attracts attention. Gift and talent attracts attention. So if I realize that every time I sing, people go, wow, 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 it's a first sign that I am gifted in that direction. Maybe I have a good voice. Giftings and talents can point you, give you an indicator to say, if I have a good voice, I might be a musician. But gift and talent does not tell you exactly what musician. And someone who has a good voice, we say, oh, maybe she's a musician. Oh, she's got a good voice, she can be a musician. People say to you, hi, why don't you do music? Why don't you go and be a musician? Because you can sing, but the gift and talent does not tell you exactly what musician. Calling tells you exactly. Calling tells you exactly what musician. So we say, what are the gifts and talents that I know that I have? Number one, a good voice to sing. We go to number two. What is my personality? The personality means the type of person you are, shown by the way you behave, by the way you feel, by the way you think. It involves two fundamental attitude types that is called extroverts and introverts. I'm going to explain them. Two attitude types, two fundamental attitude types. Personality deals with two fundamental attitude types. There are a few others, but we are not looking at the few others. We are looking at what is established. Fundamental attitude type are that there are some people who are born extroverted. There are some people who are introverted by nature. I have kids. You realize that my daughter is on the other side and my son is on the other side. It then tells me that biology does not influence the personality of a child. Genetics does not influence the personality of a child. My dad and my mom have a genetic, have genes. Their genes comes together and reproduces my own gene. If you want to know who is my father and who is my mother, you test my gene. Once you test my gene, you find my mother's gene in me, you find my father's gene in me. You can't find that another one. However, when my mother and my father gave birth to two children, the same gene, if you take my brother or my sister and test their gene, you will find that their genes are the same like mine. Because their genes was contained that of our mother and that of our father. Okay, so the genetic makeup does not influence the personality of a child. But my brother acts differently, and I act differently. My brother behaves in a different way. Maybe my brother is more on the outgoing side, and Alex is more on the inward side. So, family does not decide personality. It then means when we were born, we were born with these personalities. If genes does not produce personality, where else does it come from? From creation. From creation. Because everything that is in me can be traceable to my biology, to my mother or to my father. But when it comes to personality type, completely opposite. 5 children from the same mother and father, they behave opposite, every one of them. So what causes it? For you to overlook your personality when it comes to choosing a career in life is a gross error. Gross error. To overlook your personality when it comes to choosing a life work that you must do. If you're just doing a piece job, it's fine. But when it comes to real life work, you cannot overlook your giftings and your talents. You cannot overlook your personality. You cannot overlook your value system. What is a value system? Let me explain before we add the equations up. Your value system, personal value system. Value system basically means the principles you live by. The things you consider to be morally right. The things that I might consider to be right may not be right for you. On the basis of your tradition, on the basis of your family, on the basis of your upbringing. I did not know what mommy and daddy taught you. Daddy and mommy might have taught you, you know what, you're not supposed to associate with strangers. And then you feel, okay, mommy said I mustn't associate with strangers, therefore your value system is born that your value system says you can't associate with strangers. Whenever you associate with strangers, you feel like you are doing something wrong because it's contradicting your value system. If your value system says you can't associate with this kind of people, if your value system says you must respect elders, whenever you see an elderly person, just greet them. Maybe some traditions, you know, some traditions, when they see a man, if it's a lady, they go this way. So, if a man is standing there and the lady comes, hi, the man is looking at the lady is supposed to go this way. For some ladies who are conscious, who has that value system, if they don't go this way, they feel that they have disrespected that man. But to some people who are English, they go their way. Does it make sense now? Value is deep. Values comes from families. Your values can originate from your religion. For an example, I put myself for an example. I am a Christian, an ardent Christian. And then you realize that my value system is more on the basis of what my religion says. I am an African. There are so many things that they do in my tribe which they consider to be naturally right for every male that is born from that tribe to do. Because I don't have that value system. I don't do them. And I don't feel like I'm doing something wrong. I don't do that with my kids. I do not feel like I'm doing anything wrong. It has never bothered me. Oh, in your tradition, they do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In your tradition, you're supposed to do this. You're supposed to say that. You're supposed to do that. I don't do them. It bothers me when I don't do the things that my religion says. I feel like I'm doing something wrong. If my religion says you shouldn't lie, when I lie, I feel like I am terrible. Why? Because my value system believes strongly in the values of Christianity. Christianity says when you do this is wrong, when you do that is wrong, when you do that is wrong, when you do this is right. You live this way, you live that way. What do I do? For me to be happy, I must follow that right one. You cannot do anything against the truth, but for the truth. There are times when we have a value system as children. Maybe it's a family value system. Your parents gave it to us. And then when we were kids, we honor them. But the more you grow, you come to a realization of truth. The more you grow, you come to a realization of truth. And at a point, you realize that that value system was not founded on the basis of truth. For an example, things like apartheid was not founded on the principles of truth. It was founded on the principles of racial discrimination. So you realize there are some dudes, some guys, maybe when they were kids, their mom says, you can't play with that white boy. Their father says, you can't play with that white girl. White and girls, white boy and black girl, they shouldn't marry. It's still a principle. It's still a principle for so many today. Or if you are a Kosa, you can marry Zulu. It is still, or if you are a Catholic, you're not supposed to marry anyone from another religion. It's still a principle. It's been there. So these are values. Value system, different of them. If that value system is founded on the basis of truth, you can't overcome it. You can't change it. Why? You cannot do anything against the truth, but for the truth. If you bury the truth, it will come alive again. If you dig hole and hide it, your conscience will bring it up. So we said, back again, we said, gifts and talents plus personality plus value system equals to calling. Personality, we spoke about introverts and extroverts. Who are the introverts? Introverted people are people that draws energy from the power of their mind. They are more or less like people that prefers a quiet kind of life. They are more like inward going. Maybe I need to read these few things to help us to get an understanding. Let's look at difference between the two personalities. Number one, extroverts are action-oriented, while introverts are thought-oriented. Extroverts are action-oriented. Introverts are thought-oriented. Extroverts seek breadth of knowledge and influence, while introverts seek depth of knowledge. Majority of people that are writers are mainly introverts. Majority of people that act movies and those other things are mainly extroverts. Introverts develops a concept. Extroverts implement the concept. Yeah. Introverts develops a concept. Extroverts performs the concept. Extroverts often prefer more frequent interaction with people, with others. Extroverts does not like an indoor kind of life. Extroverts are not indoor people. They want always to interact with people, while introverts prefers more substantial interaction. Extroverts recharge and get their energy from spending time with people, while introverts recharge and get their energy from spending time alone. Example. There are some of us, when you have a personal problem, whenever you meet a problem, this is a typical example. When you have a problem, there are others, once they have a problem, they want to share their problem with other people. Because you know what, sometimes we say, and share it, don't keep it, go and tell others about it. The more you talk about it, you get better. It is not completely true. For some people, it is true. For others, it is not truth. It is not. There are others, when they have a problem, the more they talk about it, they get healed. There are others, if they talk about their problems, they become terrible. But they retreat the moment they withdraw. When they have a problem, they withdraw. When they withdraw, they stay on their own. By the time they come out, completely healed. They have the ability, inward ability, to heal themselves from practicing quiet time. Introverts does not prefer to share their problems. They prefer to deal with it inwardly. Why? Because they generate power from their mind. They are deep thinkers. They are deep imaginators. They can imagine things. Why? Because they have this creative ability in their minds naturally. They can figure out their problems. They can inwardly resolve their problems just by sitting alone. Just leave me alone for now. Just wait for a while. They withdraw. When they withdraw, by the time they come out, they're 100% okay. There are those, when they have a problem, if you put them inside, they can collapse. The only way they become better is by talking to people about it, hearing what people say, socializing. So these are two kinds of people. So you have the extroverts who are outward going. Extroverts loves the limelight. There are some people, and you know what? It's easy. I can kind of tell. When I stay with people, I can kind of tell their personality type. By just observing what they do, how they do it, I can tell their personality type. When I give assignments, for an example, if it is at work, I don't give people assignment because of their position. Oh, that one is a project coordinator, then I give her this assignment. No, I don't do that. I give people assignment at work on the basis of what I know they are good at. If I want my things done, I know who I can assign that work to. If I want somebody to go out and have some meetings, I know who I can assign that to. You don't say to me, I'm a project coordinator, I'm supposed to do this. No. Oh, I am the social worker, I'm supposed to see this person. No, I don't work that way. In our office in Believers Care, everybody does literally everything. Literally everything. Gifts and talents plus personality plus value system gives you what? A career. Take your gifts and talent. Take the kind of person who you are, personality. What kind of space do you prefer to work? Take your value system, add them together. It will tell you who you are and what work you can do. If you are a doctor, the doctor is in agreement with your gifts and talent and their personality. Oh, probably this doctor is an introvert or an extrovert, and they are an extrovert and they're working in the space that they enjoy working. And they are doing a work that agrees with their value system. There is no telling how big that doctor can become. Why? Because they are at sync with who they are. Gifts and talents, checked. Personality, checked. Value system, checked. In order. So these three, your gifts and talent, personality, and your value system, these are the fundamental principles that governs your work life, your calling. You cannot function, you cannot be better than who you are. You can't just change your value system if they are founded on truth. You cannot change your gifts and talent. If you cannot beat them, you join them. Because you can't beat it, what do? Take them, add them together, establish a calling for yourself. Calling, you don't wait to hear a voice from heaven. There are those that God specifically calls and speaks to them and says to them, this is what I want you to do. Yes, there are those people. There is not everyone. Mostly, there are some jobs, do you not know? For an example, in the land of Israel, a man that is called Jacob, he has 12 kids. God didn't speak to 12 of them. God only spoke to Levite. To Levi. He's got 12. When their father was blessing them, when he was about to die, he didn't bless others the way he blessed Levi. He blessed Levi according to the word that God gave to Levi. He said, Levites are priests. God told the Levites, you cannot walk like your brothers and your sisters. You have been separated to me. Specifically for me. For my own thing. So, don't go and start taking lands like your brothers. Don't go and start taking houses, sharing the lands. The Levites never have a possession in Israel like his 11 brothers. God says, I am your possession. There are those people. People like pastors. God calls them. They are Levites. God specifically speaks to them. And there is no argument about that. But all other 11 children of Jacob must figure out who they are according to the blessings of God in their lives. According to the blessings of God, they must figure it out. It is the honor, the glory of God to conceal a matter, but it is the honor of kings to search them out. Kings search out matters. So there are many kinds of vocations. Never forget that. Jacob has 12 kids. God did not speak to 12 of them. He spoke to one called Levite. He said to Levite, you don't join your brothers and your sisters. They have their own work to do, which I gave them. It's fine. But for you, you stand here. You've been separated from me. You attend to me. God can speak to people. It is correct. 100% correct. But the rest must figure out what God has called them to do. So let's look at Mr. Chabalal. Okay, Mr. Jablani. This is Mr. Jablani. Let's look at him. Let's have a typical example. Can I have one volunteer to please come? One volunteer, please come. Can I have a volunteer to come to the stage with me? When you start asking to do what, you're already telling me you're an introvert. Thank you. Please go ahead and clap for him. Okay. All right, just stand there. Let's use him as a case study, a positive one. Let's assume he is Jablani. All right, Jablani, you've got gifts and you've got talent. Let's assume you have a good voice, you can sing. Okay, you will be answering the question. Jablani has a good voice and he can sing. What possible career path do you think he can follow? Okay. All right, just hold on. Hold on, let's start afresh. This is Jablani. He has a gift of good voice, he can sing. His personality, he's an extrovert, an outgoing person. He's not an indoor kind of person. He is, a go-getter, a public personality, a public person, a go-getter. And then, his personal values is based on his faith. He is an ardent Christian religious person. Number one, he is an ardent Christian. Number two, his personality is extrovert. Number three, he's got a good voice. What is his calling stroke specific career path that he should follow? Okay, can you lift up your hands? Give me an example. What do you think he must do? He's an extrovert. Okay, we have a hand there. Who can give her microphone, please? Okay, there's a hand here. Please, if you tell us why you said so. Can I have another hand? Okay. Go for it.
I think that he should be a gospel singer.
Why?
Because he's high in his life and he's a good singer. So that's how he's going to spread his talent.
What about his personality and extrovert?
He's an extrovert, which means that this is what he's destined to do because he won't interact with people and he won't be scared to do so.
Oh, okay. That's good for her. All right. When you say, okay, I'm glad that you said a gospel singer because you identified the song, the kind of music on the basis of his value system. There's nothing wrong with it. But what about if I say to you that this young man, Jabulani, is a hip-hop singer? He's a hip-hop singer, eh? Hip-hop singer. Can he be a hip-hop singer? Okay, just wait. If you say he can be a hip-hop singer, just lift up your hands and tell us why you said so. If you say no, he cannot be a hip-hop singer, raise up your hand and tell us why you said so. Okay, we have first hand there. Are you for us or against us? Okay, why? Can you give him the mic, please? Somewhere here.
1, 2. Morning. I'm saying that Homeboy can be a hip-hop singer because, first of all, he's an extrovert, and hip-hop singers, they always have to meet up with new artists to make features and whatnot. And just because he's Christian, it doesn't mean that he can't rap about God, you know what I'm saying?
Did you hear what he said? Okay, let's explain it this way. I think many in the past, let's use that as an example. In the past, there are many people who were denied an opportunity to do the things they love to do because of the tradition that goes with what they want to do. It is more or less that hip-hop is more or less like a street song. Because of the kind of language, the content of the music, isn't it? What they say. No one is like, yo, hey, yo, man. And they use the H word, they use the F word, and they go like this, All right, please pay attention here. Now, some folks came on board. These guys are firebrands. And they say, but we love hip-hop. But our value system does not allow us to use the language that are being used in hip-hop. The traditional language was stopping people who loves hip-hop to do it, because every time they go and sing with other kind of language, they say, hey, but this is not the way hip-hop is being sung. It must be this way, it must be that way, and they restrict. They are being restricted from doing what they love to do. But some other firebrands, some other folks comes on board and said, you know what? What do you mean? Hip-hop can talk about God. I love hip-hop. I love to rap. I love to sing. And I want to sing about what I believe. I am an extrovert. I am a go-getter. I am a kind of person that loves this hip-hop space. I want to bring my own message into the hip-hop world. That is how gospel hip hop comes on board. You see, it's all about the content, how we're doing it. It's all about what we do and how we're doing it. All right, put your hands together for Jablan. Thank you so much. They discovered gifts and talent. We heard the news, the one that was going on television, the guy that said, I believe I can fly. What's his name? Somebody like R. Kelly. Just 1 minute, guys, just 1 minute. Whether what the testimonies given to him was true or false is not what I am here to decide. But probably it's wrong to use him as an example because I wasn't there. So I withdraw my statement. All right, let's generalize. Many people that were gifted, so much expectations were placed on them by the society. Many of them never live up to those expectations. Many of them literally fails the people that put hopes and trust on them. The question is why? The question is why? Many of them end up in drug addiction without dispute. Many ends up in drug addiction. The passion doesn't drive people down. It drives people up. That's why you see they start and they keep going up. They keep going up. They keep going up. At a certain point in their fame, they collapse. They collapse. That's one. Now, let's go back to the family sectors. When I was young, there was something that I realized. When I was young, all my uncles were very rich. But as I grew up, all of them were poor. Let me explain. Usually, they start well. And I keep asking myself, when I was young, this man used to do very well, that one used to do well, that one used to do well. We will be expecting that at this age, they will be doing better and better. But the reverse is the case. They go up. Suddenly, they collapse. Majority of them, it's only few that were able to stay stable on top there. Few people. Why? The answer is here. Life mission. What then does it mean? The reason why people engage in drugs, they were not engaging in drugs just because they love the taste. No, they were engaging in the drugs to contain the pressure that they feel from the gift and talent and how far it has taken them. A lot of expectations are placed on them. People are looking at them. So many people are looking at them, and this gift and talent, it keeps pushing. The passion keeps pumping. The more you function in it, you are discovering more because it's a chain. The more you grow, you see, oh, I can do more. I can do more. I can do more. At a point, you go beyond the level of natural human control. They go beyond the level of natural human control because they cannot control what they feel, and where they are, they need to look for substance to help them to gain that control. At the end of the day, the substance destroys them. When they started, they were not on drugs. The drugs came when they became famous. The question is why? This child was doing well. He was not on drugs. He was not a drunk. But suddenly in the peak of their career, they couldn't control it. Why? Because they've gone beyond the level of a natural human control. When you go up there, it's not a lot of people there. It's only few people there. To gain control there, it takes this life mission. Let's put it this way. When you become a musician, the question is, by whether you become a musician, or whether you become a doctor, or whether you become a teacher, whatever you become, life mission naturally, because you were born to make a contribution. Those gifts and talent were not given to you originally for fame. They were not given to you originally for money. They were not given to you originally for you to control people. Those abilities were given to you because of universal purpose. Then you are required to use them to make a contribution. If you don't use them to make a contribution, they reverse against you. You may not know it. It's natural. It's natural. You may not know it. They tend to work against the person. So what happens is that once you have those abilities, there has to be a plan. You need to say, okay, because of these abilities that I have, my time